Most people who disrespect you already know they're doing it. They just don't think you'll do anything about it. Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, did they really just say that to me? And then beat yourself up for not speaking up? We've all been there. You keep it cool, give people the benefit of the doubt, and try to stay chill. But over time, those little jabs, backhanded comments, and jokes start piling up, and one day you realize it's not a joke anymore. It's disrespect. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 real ways to handle people who don't respect you without losing your cool and without letting them walk all over you again. Some of these might be a little uncomfortable, maybe even controversial, but they work. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to draw the line and make them think twice before testing you again. 1. The silent stare. Let's start with one of the most underrated but powerful ways to deal with disrespect. The silent stare. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Really? Just staring at someone? But bro, trust me, this works like magic when someone's trying to test you. Sometimes silence speaks louder than anything you could say. When someone disrespects you, talks over you, throws shade, makes backhanded comments, they're usually trying to get a reaction. They want you to get flustered, snap back, or explain yourself just to feel in control. But when you hit them with nothing but a calm, steady stare, that flips the whole energy. You're telling them, I see you, but I'm not playing your game. I remember being in this meeting once. This guy kept cutting me off like I wasn't even in the room. I tried being polite and tried jumping back in, but he didn't care, so I stopped talking. I leaned back, crossed my arms, and just looked at him. 5 seconds of pure silence, no facial expression, no blinking, and bro, you could feel the room shift. He stumbled on his words, glanced around awkwardly, and didn't interrupt me again, not once. The silent stare works because it's unexpected. Most people are used to pushing others and getting a rise out of them, but when you stay still, grounded, and completely unbothered, it makes them look at themselves. And most people don't like what they see. And here's the best part. It's not about being aggressive. It's about choosing your energy. You don't owe anyone an emotional reaction just because they're loud or disrespectful. Holding that calm stare is a reminder to them and to yourself that you're in control. 2. Be silenced. Here's something most people overlook. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. When someone disrespects you or tries to bait you into reacting, sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to say absolutely nothing. I get it. Silence feels passive, like you're letting them get away with it. But the truth? Silence puts all the weight back on them. You're not giving them your energy, your explanation, or your validation. You're giving them space to sit in the awkward tension they created. People who throw shade or make jokes at your expense are usually testing your boundaries. They want to rise, they want control, but when you pause, breathe, and don't respond, that control stays with you. I had someone once toss out a slick little comment about my work in front of others, just loud enough to sting. Normally, I'd clap back or explain myself, but that day, I just looked at him, raised an eyebrow, and said nothing. The silence hit harder than anything I could have said. He shifted in his seat, looked down, mumbled something, and never tried it again. That's the thing. Silence makes people hear themselves. And that discomfort, that's the consequence. When you choose silence, you're choosing your peace over their drama. You're saying, I'm not giving you my energy, my time, or my emotional bandwidth. It's not about being cold, it's about being in control. Look, I used to feel like I had to defend myself all the time. But the more I stayed silent, the more I realized I don't owe explanations to people who don't respect me. I don't have to fight every comment or justify my worth. So next time someone tries to test you, don't react. Just pause, let it hang, and let that silence remind both of you you're not here to prove anything to anyone. 3. Stop explaining your choices. Let's be real, you don't owe anyone a TED Talk about your life decisions. Yet somehow, the second you do something different, change jobs, skip an event, choose a path that isn't what people expected, the questions start flying. Why did you do that? Wait, you're really going to quit? But what about? It's like people forget your life belongs to you. And most of the time, they're not even asking to understand, they're asking to judge, to poke holes, to make you doubt yourself so they can feel more secure about staying in their comfort zone. And the more you explain, the more power you give them to question your decisions. I've been there. I once left a stable job to pursue something I was passionate about. Suddenly, people treated me like I was insane. At first, I tried to explain, talked about my plan, my reasons, the logic behind it, but no matter what I said, it never felt enough. It only opened more space for criticism. I tried something new. Next time someone asked, "Why would you do that?" I just said, "Because I wanted to." That's it. No details, no defense. And guess what? The silence that followed was powerful. People didn't know what to say, and eventually they stopped asking. See, not explaining yourself isn't rude, it's self-respect. It's you saying, "I trust myself enough to not need your approval." You don't need to justify your life to people who aren't living it. You made the choice, that's the reason, and that's enough. 4. Keep your distance. Let's be honest, sometimes the smartest thing you can do is step back. If someone constantly disrespects you, drains you, or crosses your boundaries like it's a sport, bro, why are they still getting VIP access to your life? Keeping your distance doesn't make you heartless. It makes you self-aware. You're not being cold. You're choosing your peace over their drama. And no, you don't need to make some big announcement. You don't need to ghost them either. Just start showing up less, talk less, be less available, and watch how much lighter you start to feel. I had a friend once who always found a way to criticize something. My goals, my style, even the music I like. At first I let it slide. I told myself, that's just how they are. But after a while I noticed something. Every time I hung out with them, I felt smaller. Like I had to brace myself for the next little dig. So I tried something new. I didn't cut them off. I just slowly created space. Instead of weekly hangouts, maybe once a month, then once every few months. And in that space, I felt freer, calmer, more like myself again. Here's what I learned. Distance brings clarity. It helps you see who's really adding to your life and who's just taking. You're not being dramatic for protecting your energy. You're being real. Some people will say, but they're family, or you've known them forever. Cool. But history doesn't justify toxicity. So here's your challenge. Think about who drains you, who disrespects you, who makes you question your worth. Then ask yourself, do they really deserve that much access to me? And if the answer is no, give yourself permission to step back. You don't owe anyone constant access. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's survival. 5. Hold your head high. Let's talk about something that looks simple but hits hard. Holding your head high. Yeah, it might sound like basic advice, but when you're dealing with people who try to tear you down, this one move can change everything. Disrespect thrives on making you feel small. They want you to shrink, avoid eye contact, question yourself. But when you stand tall, shoulders back, head up, eyes forward, you send a message without saying a word. I know who I am, and you don't get to take that from me. I remember someone who'd always throw little jabs my way, smirking, making jokes that felt more like digs. I used to laugh it off, but deep down it messed with me. I started dreading being around them, constantly bracing for the next shot. One day I was done playing that game. I walked in, stood straight, held my head high, and when they tried the usual comments, I didn't flinch. I looked them in the eye, gave a calm smile, and kept it moving. No reaction, no tension, just quiet strength. And you know what? It worked. They backed off, not because I snapped, but because they could feel I wasn't affected anymore. That's the power of presence. When you carry yourself like you know your worth, people either rise to meet you or fall away. And yeah, some folks won't like it. Your confidence disrupts the narrative they built in their heads, but their discomfort, not your problem. Holding your head high is more than body language. It's mental posture. It's a reminder that you belong in every room you walk into, that you don't need to shrink to fit into anyone else's idea of who you should be. Next time someone disrespects you, don't look down. Look straight ahead. Let your confidence say, I see you, but I'm above this. At the end of the day, respect starts with you. The more you value yourself, the less space there is for anyone else's disrespect to stick. Stand tall, own your space. You don't need to explain, react, or prove anything to people who don't see your worth. The truth is, some people will never get it, and that's okay, because life's too short to keep showing up for people who don't show up for you. You don't need their permission to protect your peace, hold your ground, and walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. And here's the best part. The more you live with self-respect, the more you attract people who actually respect you. If this hit home, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on confidence, boundaries, and building a life you're proud of. And if you've ever had to deal with disrespect or draw a line that changed everything, drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Until next time, stay solid, protect your energy, and remember, respect isn't given, it's claimed.